Hello everyone, welcome to the 5th Ding Stinger episode about paintless dent repair and the value that it brings to a repair. Why is paintless dent repair more valuable of a repair than refinishing? Well, there's lots of reasons. If you have a brand new car that rolls up to your business or your shop and it has a dent in the quarter panel just behind the rear door, and you can paintless dent repair a dent in that area of the car. Say it's just above the dog leg where the quarter panel comes down in the wheel well, and it's just back behind that door. Now, if you do conventional repair on damage like that, you have to blend the rear door, you have to paint the quarter panel, you have to clear coat both panels and blend your paint color back until the repair is invisible. You have to remove and install bumpers, tail lights, quarter glasses. On the door, you have to take all the weather stripping off, glass out. If you're doing full, R&I, removal and installation of all the parts properly, so that you wrap your edges with clear coat all the way edge to edge so that you can offer a lifetime warranty. And some of the things that I talk about are for shops that don't cut corners. There's a lot of shops out there that are going to mask off things and do things that are different, but that's what we're trying to get across in this episode of the Ding Stinger podcast on the value of paintless dent repair. When you can paintless dent repair a dent, even if it doesn't come out 100%, it all depends on the customer's expectations and the expectations that you set for your customer. We have it's a hybrid body shop basically here at the Ding Guy. That's my business here in Colorado Springs, and we have customers pull up all day long that have damage on their cars, and we have a mission statement with the Ding Guy, and you should have a mission statement for your business also. But my mission statement, I picked it out back in 2005 for the Ding Guy's mission statement because I had a business coach that taught me that having a vision and a goal for your business makes a lot of difference. And I found that as I've hired employees and they've gotten to know me and they've gotten to know the business that we're accomplishing together, is that our mission statement is to save our customers time and money whenever possible by using paintless dent repair as the first best option when repairing minor dents, door dings, and hail damage in your vehicle. So that's my mission statement for my business, and it's something that I've lived by. When I first got into paintless dent repair, I was working in the Los Angeles area, out in California, so there wasn't hail claims to do. I was a dent tech with very minimal experience, but I learned very early on working with the California Auto Body Association and a lot of very good professional mentor type people who own their own body shops in the Los Angeles area. So when paintless dent repair first was coming on the scene, people were excited about it, obviously, but if you've been in the business a long time, or if you've heard the stories about paintless dent repair, it all used to be a secret. People weren't supposed to watch how someone fixed dents, and I know when I learned how to fix dents, I signed a confidentiality agreement that wouldn't allow me to show anyone my tools. If I discussed how dents were fixed with anyone, they basically said they'd be able to sue me. So that was what the environment of paintless dent repair was, early on. And it's something that, I can see that there were people trying to protect trade secrets so that they could keep the industry small to keep the prices up. But as time has gone on, 26 years later, you can Google anybody fixing a dent. I create videos showing people the process of fixing dents and what it takes. And it's an interesting thing when paintless dent repair is used, because what you're ultimately trying to do on a customer's vehicle, and it's what I say to every customer that comes into my shop, and my estimators and my front office people are all trained to tell customers that our goal is to maintain the value of your vehicle. If we can maintain the value of your vehicle, it helps you when you go to trade it in or to sell it. This morning, I had a customer come into our shop, and he had a dent on his bedside that was just behind a 4-door cab on a new Dodge truck. It was a dent that was sharp, it was long, it was creased, it was across a body line, but it had easy access through the top of the bedside for a paintless dent repair to be accomplished, which made it a good place for leverage. The tops of beds are a little bit challenging to go in through because of the height of the bed. This truck was a little bit lifted. So it's all the challenges of a vehicle, but that's what you want to show a customer. Those are great talking points to give your customer the confidence that you know what you're doing. And it also educates them so that they will go and tell their friends how they had their dent fixed. I've found over the years that the best thing I ever do is talk to a customer and tell them what the process is going to be, how it works. The gentleman this morning, when I explained to him all the things that are going to be a part of a repair on his truck, because again, we offer both. We can do full refinish and repainting, and I have an amazingly talented painter. We're putting out with an Axel Nobel water-based paint. The refinish on the vehicles that we're doing is coming out amazing. So the thing that you want to consider though is, just like I told this customer, I was like, okay, well, I can fix this dent to about 90%. The severity of the crease, constitutes me telling you that standing right here, your dent is going to appear gone. If you stand back along the side of the truck and you really scrutinize, where the damage was on the vehicle, then it's going to be a little bit of a wave there, but something that someone would probably walk past your truck and never notice. These are the types of things that I educate my customers to, because the customer also needed to know that if he wanted it completely gone, that we could use paintless dent repair to minimize any Bondo or plastic fillers or Duraglass that you're going to put in the side of that truck. We don't use Bondo anymore, but it's a term that everybody understands. So less fillers, less materials, which would fix the dent to 90%. My body guys would take it over, they would finish out, block it, we would refinish it. But when I explained to him how much of his truck was going to have to be repainted, and I explained to him that anyone that is savvy in the automotive world or knows repairs, there's always the chance that on a reinspection, if you're trading the vehicle in, that someone is going to know that a repair was done in the area that was refinished. There's some telltale signs, in repairs that you just can't hide completely. So when it comes down to telling someone, hey, we're going to fix the dent on your truck to where it's not noticeable, and we're going to charge you $600 or $700, but then write them a full estimate on what it's going to cost to disassemble everything on the bedside of the truck, disassemble the bed corner, painting the around the corner of the bed means removing the entire bed from the truck. So the expense starts to jump exponentially. I think the conventional estimate on that dent repair was going to be somewhere in the $1,700 to $1,800 range. The customer opted to go with a paintless repair, and in anticipation of the repair maybe not coming out as well as we're hoping, we landed the job. The idea is that we landed the job because we gave the customer an option. The customer had been to other shops in our area. No one's going to touch that dent with paintless dent repair. That's a body shop in town. They're gonna sell that as a conventional repair. They're not going to have the faith in their ability to do what they can do. But that's also something else that we want to do as the Ding Stinger podcast and the community that we're going to create here, is that we'll have access to very strongly skilled paintless dent repair technicians, and hopefully we can hook people up so that if you own a body shop and you want to start using the Ding Stinger concept of selling paintless dent repair as the first option to your customers, it lands a lot of work because you can give people options. It's not just the option of paintless against conventional. It can be paintless push to paint processes. It may not be full paintless, it's push to paint, but that's also utilizing less materials in a repair. And what does that do? It limits your liability to a lower level because you're not using as much materials that you have to stand behind that may fail for some reason. So when you think about all the things that are involved with how big of an area that has to be refinished to make a dent go away compared to having a slight blemish in a panel that is not going to be noticeable to the customer. And I always let the customer know, hey, if you're standing here looking at the damage when we have completed this repair, this is where you're going to see a wave. But if you have a customer that's just like, oh, I just have to have that thing completely gone, it drives me so insane, then you have the option. But like we're going to do with this customer, it's severe enough of a dent. I personally feel, even with my 26 years of experience, and I can fix tons of severe damage very well, that I've got about a 50-50 shot, I think, of making this customer happy. But the nice thing about how this customer was educated and how he was sold was that I told him, hey, you spend $700 with me and I can't get it to where I feel good about it, I'm gonna call and let you know. And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and apply that $700 towards the conventional if you're not happy with it, because I understand if it was my truck and I was gonna pay somebody $700 to make something a lot better, but I may not be happy with it because what if it's, whatever the situation was and how the truck got damaged a lot of times will dictate how someone feels about how the dent comes out. If it was a bad situation, somebody was drunk, they were in a fight, they fell against their truck, it's an ex-boyfriend, it's their brother-in-law. What is it? What made that dent in their car? They either want it completely gone or they're willing to accept something that they can live with. But the other thing that made a selling point to this customer was that when I told him the crease dent that's in this body line and across this bedside, if we refinish this just out of the gate, I mean, if that's what you decide you want to do and we can't paintless dent repair it or whatever the situation, just know that when you go to trade this vehicle in, a dealership or someone who is purchasing a vehicle that knows what they're looking at is going to be able to see that bedside and be able to make a judgment to say, wow, this part of the truck was refinished. They don't know if that truck was smashed. Was it punched in at an intersection by another car and it had frame damage? People always assume the worst if they're investing money into a vehicle, even a used vehicle. So it's maintaining that value of that vehicle that you're always trying to protect that value. So paintless dent repair can be an extremely valuable tool, not only for the processes in your shop and how you can sell work. And being an independent shop and not having any DRP agreements where I live and work, we have to have every advantage that we can have, because we have direct repair program shops. We just had Service King move into our area. Gerber's been in the area for a couple of years. We have like 4 Abra shops in town here. So there are big direct repair full collision shops that are constantly getting customers, and they're busy. How do you stand out? How do you make a difference in what you offer? Do you offer a repair for your customers that's green, that is environmentally friendly? Do you offer options to your customers so that paintless dent repair may be something that is going to save them time and money? Is it something that you may be able to use paintless dent repair to save a part replacement? Because a part replacement, you convert parts into labor. What it does to your margins is incredible. It'll add to your bottom line in a way that you'll be shocked by. So utilizing paintless dent repair in the correct way is something that is going to benefit your business if you work on auto body claims, small blend jobs, big collision shops. You guys can shrink back areas. You can repair panels that have adjacent damage that is associated with an accident. So say there's a big dent on a side of a car, but a crease continues on through the rear door. If you can shrink a crease back into a door and save blending into a quarter panel or the adjacent panel to that, because you shrunk damage back using paintless dent repair, think about what you're saving in time for R&I, for broken pieces and parts that happen in that R&I to a panel when you don't have to paint it. If there's anything you can save that way, it helps maintain the value of the vehicle. It protects your customer, it protects you, it protects your bottom line. So these are some seeds that I'm planting in people's mind about paintless dent repair, and using the Ding Stinger app and having that available in your hand to be able to write quick, simple, easy paintless dent repair estimates, and being able to convert those to conventional if you need to, being able to convert it to where you're using the labor to save a panel when you normally would have written it to replace it. You're converting part prices into labor. So think about those things and what they mean. But you know, our podcasts are on our YouTube channel. Please feel free to comment, reach out to us. Email is the thedingstinger@gmail.com. You can also reach me at thedingguy@gmail.com. So I hope everyone can take some of this information and start to utilize it and think about it in the aspects that it affects you. Are you a paintless dent repair technician who is looking for ways to sell your services to another business so that they're selling for you? And the Ding Stinger app can be something they use to sell for you. And you can start to educate people and educate customers as to the things that you offer, which makes you stand out as a stronger technician, a better business person, and also someone who's looking out for customers and is an educator. So become an educator. It's your job to educate the customers and make their choices and the way that they get their cars repaired the best option possible for them. So thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Ding Stinger podcast. This was about the value of paintless dent repair. Remember, keep your feet solidly planted in midair. Have an amazing day.